picture 1,000 bottles of lubricant, odds are you're not picturing enough. At 12 fluid ounces each, Diddy's freak-out lube stash would be almost enough to completely fill a 100-gallon fish tank. So why
you think that's what he was doing?
did Diddy need enough lube to create a slip and slide that could stretch across the entire length of a movie theater, from the lobby to the front screen? And we mean that literally. 1,000 12-ounce bottles equals about 93 gallons, which would let you cover a slip and slide 6 feet wide and around 630 feet long with 1 millimeter of personal lubricant, or a total surface area of almost 350 meters. At Diddy's movie theater, you could slide in the front door on a cushion of sex lube, whiz by the concession stand for your popcorn and soda, and then slide into your front row seats right by the big screen. And what's playing in Diddy's theater? Well, one of his personal home movies, but more on that soon. First, let's talk about enough lube to drown an elephant seal.
Yo, he is cooking.
Americans buy in bulk,
This is funny ass AI, yo.
as we know, and there's a Costco right down the street. These are actual statements from P. Diddy's lawyer in response to the discovery of 1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil.
What up, YouTube? You clicked the title, you read the page, so I'm gonna just get to the point. Diddy Freak-Offs Explain. The other day I was watching this Dr. Umar video, and he said that this whole Diddy thing is just all one big distraction from the election. And I believe it. It's like everywhere is like Diddy, Diddy, Diddy. Now, we're watching a video on Diddy. It's like they think they slick, but you know what? When you subscribe for the vibe, I'm talking about that election too, baby. Who y'all voting for? Drop a comment, let me know. Even though I hate politics. I really do. But anyway, subscribe for the vibe. Let's get to it. Shout out to the infographics too, man. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. They are super, super dope, man. They definitely dropping that info for your ass.
Been invited to a party hosted by Congratulations! You've been invited to a party hosted by none other than famous rap mogul Puff Daddy. It's gonna be an extravagant gala and definitely going to skyrocket your social media following.
Yo, I'm weak. A gala.
But when you get there, it's just Diddy and a few of his close friends looking like plankton in his basement dungeon. And you're being told to take a bottle of lube to a private room to prepare yourself.
Oh, this is taking a dark turn.
All while Diddy licks his lips and looks at you, whispering to himself, I was in one bedroom, dreaming of a million. Now I'm in beach houses, cream to the ceiling. As you're about to find out, one of Puff Daddy's most famous lyrics could have been quite literal. 1,000 bottles of lube, enough to fill a very large aquarium. This was the shocking discovery inside of one of Puff Daddy's homes after a federal search warrant was executed against him.
I still don't know who counted the lube. And all the Fed just trying to pull a okey doke on us, which I think no. Diddy did the shit. Like, some of that shit is believable. He definitely beat the brakes off of Cassie. He definitely did settle. So it kind of makes you wonder, was he guilty? But Michael Jackson also settled, and Michael Jackson settled one lawsuit, and then they said that he was fine. Like, the feds couldn't find anything. So I don't think settling means guilty. I don't know, but I just don't believe the whole $1,000 of. I just don't believe the whole 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I don't know. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know.
And all of that lube? Well, it was meant to be used by some of your favorite celebrities in what Diddy called freak-off parties. Try to picture 1,000 bottles of lubricant. Odds are you're not picturing enough. At 12 fluid ounces each, Diddy's freak-out lube stash would be almost enough to completely fill a 100-gallon fish tank. So why
you think that's what he was doing?
did Diddy need enough lube to create a slip and slide that could stretch across the entire length of a movie theater, from the lobby to the front screen? And we mean that literally. 1,000 12-ounce bottles equals about 93 gallons, which would let you cover a slip and slide 6 feet wide and around 630 feet long with 1 millimeter of personal lubricant, or a total surface area of almost 350 meters. At Diddy's movie theater, you could slide in the front door on a cushion of sex lube, whiz by the concession stand for your popcorn and soda, and then slide into your front row seats right by the big screen. And what's playing in Diddy's theater? Well, one of his personal home movies, but more on that soon. First, let's talk about enough lube to drown an elephant seal.
Yo, he is cooking.
Buy in
This is funny ass AI, yo.
bulk, as we know, and there's a Costco right down the street. These are actual statements from P. Diddy's lawyer in response to the discovery of 1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil at Diddy's home. While it is true that Americans enjoy bargain shopping from big box stores, Most Americans also don't need enough lubricant to fully
Exactly. I'm sorry. I can't think of like what would you need all that lube for? What would you need all that baby oil for? What do you need all this stuff for? It makes us think you were really sick and twisted. You sick and oh, I thought the dog was bugging out because he be doing this thing where he be bugging out, biting up all the furniture and stuff.
insert a Minuteman intercontinental ballistic missile into a missile silo that is a little nervous because this is their first time. The public discovery of Diddy's freak-off parties come alongside startling revelations from the numerous criminal cases against him. In 2023, Sean John Combs, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, aka Lube Daddy,
I'm weak.
aka P. Slip and Slide, aka Federal Defendant Number 1, saw his entire career unwind with allegations that he had abused and exploited former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, also known as Cassie. He was 37 years old and she was just 19 when they first met.
Oh, come on.
Quickly making her financially and career dependent on him.
She wasn't even fully brain developed yet. You know, the brain wasn't fully developed to know what was right from wrong, man. Oh, how could the parents just get her off like that, man? She's still a baby. You gotta protect the baby.
At these freak-off parties, it's alleged that he forced Cassie to perform acts on others against her will. The case would be settled out of court without the terms of the settlement being publicly revealed. However, it's likely that this included a very large financial compensation. There's no word on compensation for Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car after he became enraged to discover that Cudi had been dating Cassie. Given how much lube Diddy had on hand, getting his car blown up was the least of Cudi's worries. But Cassie's lawsuit was the tip of the iceberg.
Yo, I'm weak. Niggas say he would much rather get his car blown up.
Because Puff Daddy, aka Lube Master 3000, was already facing several other cases for exactly the same type of behavior. And front and center of these allegations were P. Baby Oil Diddy's freak-off parties. For both legal reasons and to protect their reputations, it has become incredibly difficult to get solid details on what exactly went on at these freak-off parties from those who attended. But it doesn't take much imagination when there are literally 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil involved. Odds are, with that much lubricant to make things nice and slippery, Diddy and his guests were not hosting a chess club. Some leaks have emerged, though, painting a sordid picture of Combs' freak-off parties. Allegedly, they involved multi-day-long marathons of physical debauchery.
Marathons?
With P. Diddy, aka Slip Daddy, flying in sex workers specifically for the events. That particular allegation seems to have some basis in reality,
Freaky ass nigga here, 69, huh?
as amongst the many charges Diddy seems unable to slip out of are related to sex trafficking across state lines, for which he is being prosecuted under the infamous Mann Act. Allegedly, Diddy's flesh fests would begin after his famous white parties, which would attract major celebrities such as Leonardo DiCaprio and Mariah Carey. However, after the A-listers left, Diddy would put on a completely different show for a select group of friends. Michael Kaplan of the New York Post, who broke details on freak-offs, reported that Diddy would lure in women whom he was personally managing or had met at various adult clubs, along with sex workers. Using either drugs, money, or power over their career, Diddy forced the women to participate. Afterwards, to ensure their silence, he would use video footage taken at the events as blackmail leverage or simply threaten to ruin their career. But freak-offs had other surprises of their own. According to a well-placed drug dealer who was invited to one of these events, male rappers would engage in acts with each other as well, including some very high-profile and well-known talent whose names have not come to the spotlight yet.
Ooh, I about to say not yet, but we about to find out real soon. Man, this trial is going to be interesting.
However, for any fan of the Boondocks, this type of behavior has long been an open secret amongst the hip-hop community. Heavy security would ensure complete privacy, and only people personally invited by Combs were allowed to enter. Threats of violence, drug addiction, and blackmail were all used to ensure complete secrecy, as well as a healthy amount of payouts for at least some individuals, such as Cassie. Even if guests wanted to leave, The sheer amount of personal lubricant flooding the party space would have made that difficult.
Yo, I'm screaming. Niggas say even if they wanted to leave a Diddy party, they couldn't. It's too slippery.
There's also been no publicly released footage or any photos from any of these freak-off parties, though low-effort media has been using old clips or photos from legitimate white parties that Diddy hosted in their place as clickbait. Allegations that celebrities like Kevin Hart, Leonardo DiCaprio, or Beyoncé attended these parties are unproven and rely entirely on photos and videos of them at known white parties. Combs is, at the time of writing, behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center after being labeled a flight risk. As federal raids against his U.S. homes were being carried out back in March, Diddy had taken his private plane to Antigua in the Caribbean. Thinking the situation over, he decided to return and was subsequently denied bail requests. Commenting on the discovery of 1,000 bottles of lubricant in one of his homes, Diddy, through his lawyer, wanted it to be clear that the presence of over 90 gallons of lube and baby oil was not, quote, as nefarious as it seemed. Because who doesn't have
So what was he using it for?
a commercial-sized aquarium's worth of personal lubricant for various needs in their home? Sean "Slippery" Combs is facing some serious jail time for the charges against him, even as the details of freak-off parties remain tightly under wraps by federal prosecutors. At a minimum, Combs faces 15 years in prison, though it's possible he could spend the rest of his life in prison if the federal sex trafficking charges are proven, along with a $250,000 fine. The real question is, how do federal authorities hope to keep a man behind bars who has spent so much of his life steeped in gallons and gallons of personal lubricant now slip into this video? The wealthy elite that
Yo, nah, they walked on that video, man. That was dope.